What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Figured I'd start this video off with just a house update. I don't know, I haven't talked about the house at all really since I got it and have done the stuff in the garage, and really not too much has changed on the inside. We did a bunch of interior design work and just kind of kept colors all the same, complementing each other. I really like the kind of fall vibe that we have going on in the living room here. Got a nice photo wall, mural wall that Sam's been working on, just getting a bunch of different artwork and things to hang on the wall. Made a little shadow box when we went to Salem. A couple other pieces of art that we've seen along the way. Finally got kind of an office setup going here. This is Sam's desk where she cuts all of her vinyl decals that she sells. If you guys need any stickers for your brand or your car crew, definitely hit her up. I'll put her links in the description and you guys can order straight from her. We got ourselves a snake. I don't think I've actually shown him on camera. Got him about 2 months ago. He's this adorable 5-month-old king snake, Florida king snake. He's sleeping right now, not out and about, but I'll try and get a clip in this video so you guys can see him. His name is Zeddy, and we're gonna head to the compound. Ended up taking the NSX home for the weekend just so that we could shoot some more photos, and they turned out really, really well. No real updates on the NSX, still just an awesome car. I drive it pretty much every single weekend, just take it out for a cruise and stuff. You guys know I love this thing to death. But yeah, I'm gonna go grab some coffee and then we're gonna head over to the compound. I'm sorry that I don't post as often as I should, guys. I film and edit a lot during the week, and at the end of the day, sometimes I just like to take a little break on the weekend and just kind of enjoy myself rather than spend the entire weekend filming once again. I got a couple boxes in my office from Toyota. Race season is coming up quick, just a couple months away. And when I think of the race season, I think of traveling. And when I think of traveling, I think of today's video sponsor, NordVPN. NordVPN is back for the month of February, and I'm here to tell you why I love them so much and why it is so important to stay safe when you are surfing the internet. NordVPN is a virtual private network that uses cybersecurity to keep you safe while you are surfing the internet. Every time that you guys go online, if you guys are entering any type of personal information to any website, there is a chance of getting hacked, your information getting taken. NordVPN is extremely easy to use, and with just a simple click on their app, you can turn on their threat protection program, which will block every single type of malware, trackers, and even ads. Now, going back to what I said about traveling, more oftentimes than not, I run into issues where I can't access certain websites or certain information when I'm in different countries, and that's where NordVPN comes into play. When I'm out traveling for work, sometimes I need to access sites to be able to complete a video I'm working on, whether I need music, whether I need assets, and sometimes those websites aren't available in that specific country. Or let's say I have some downtime at the hotel after editing and I just want to chill and watch some movies on my laptop and I can't because they're not accessible in that country. I simply just go onto NordVPN's server and pick the country that I am residing in at the time, and I will be able to access all of these shows and all of the websites that I need to with just a simple click of a button. And I can do all of that while also being protected at the same time. It's pretty awesome. If you guys want to stay safe on the internet, you guys can click the link at the very top of the description or go to nordvpn.com/divinevpn to get their 2-year plan plus 4 months completely free. And on top of that, NordVPN has a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's really no excuse to not try it out for yourself. I hope you guys check them out, and I want to give a huge, massive shout out to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. And then we got this old girl. A couple weeks ago, I came by and got the driver's side fender all squared away. So the fender is all nice and smooth now. It's funny, Josh was telling me that there's like a nest of jumping spiders in the car somewhere, and they've just been all over the car while they've been working, and they've collected a couple of them and like brought them home as pets. I don't know if you came from Florida or Pennsylvania, but either way, welcome. Trunk is back on, mounted, basically ready to get its final little scuff and make sure everything's good and spray it. So I think whatever panels I can take off or want to take off as I'm prepping them for paint, I will do that. Especially areas like here that have a bunch of overspray from spray paint. I really appreciate how interested you guys are in this build series, and I just want to let you guys know that this is not going to be some high horsepower crazy build. I love how invested you guys are, and I appreciate you guys telling me what to do engine wise, but I'm here to tell you I'm not going to do a K series. This car's main purpose right now is to be a daily driver that is nostalgic and fun, and I got a perfectly good single cam sitting in the original Del Sol that I want to put in this thing. The overall main reason as to why I wanted to build this car was for fuel economy. Be able to have a fuel efficient, reliable daily driver that I can take to and from the house, and that would inevitably save me a ton of gas. Because right now I daily drive the Century, which is a 5-liter V12 and gets 14 miles to the gallon, if that. And I'm paying around like $600 a month just on fuel, just to get from my house to here. And that's a lot. So I'd like to cut that in half. And what better way to do that than in an OG car that I remember so well, and I want to make look good and fun. So that's my plans. I know there's a lot of rambling in this video, but I'm just trying to catch you guys up to speed, get you guys aligned with the stuff that I plan on doing. But hopefully today I can tackle the rest of the driver's side, get the driver's side door all blocked out nice and smooth, quarter panel blocked out nice and smooth, then be able to move on to the passenger side of the car, which is definitely in worse condition, but not bad. So let the bodywork begin.
I wish I could say I'm a perfect body guy, but I only know the basics. We're just gonna keep learning as we go and try and get this door as straight as we can.
So after about an hour of sanding, blocking, filling, sanding, blocking, I got this thing pretty damn good, and I'm actually really happy with it. I'm starting to really get in the groove with this bodywork stuff, and I can just kind of flow and just figure things out, and it's really fun. It's tedious, but it's fun. So sanded everything super quick with 180, then I guide coated the entire thing with Sem's guide coat, blocked the entire door, and then isolated a few dents. All the stuff that's in blue here is previous dents and dings. I used glaze basically for all the small ones, and then this one was a pretty major one, so I used actual Bondo body filler and then glaze on top. Got everything nice and smooth, everything is straight as an arrow, or at least as straight as I can get it. I got all my edges and things, so door is done. Now I'm gonna move on to the quarter panel, get this knocked out. When it comes to like the side skirts and stuff, I'll take those off the car, I'll do those off the car. But now I'm gonna tackle this guy, basically repeat the entire process, make sure I sand down any existing rust, get that nice and clean, and then work my way around, make sure everything's nice and smooth. Today's Sunday, hopefully I can have the driver's side of the car done before I leave today. That'd be awesome. All right, now you guys get to watch me knock down some guide coat. I just laid guide coat over everything. I already sprayed some lacquer thinner on the panel and checked reflections. I would say 80% of this panel is really good. There's a little ding right here that I noticed, and then back here, the body filler that has been added needs to be addressed. There's a couple high spots, low spots. There's no rust, which is good. I want to make sure that I can get this spot straight. Do the gas cap, and then we'll be good. Okay, did the guide coat, sanded everything back, blocked the entire quarter, isolated my dents. So you guys can see, dent there, bunch of little dents here, right to the right of the gas cap, and then obviously there's still quite a bit left over in this back section. Everything else cleaned up really well, which is nice, and it doesn't look like any of this is too big to not use just glaze. So I'm gonna use glaze on all of these, get these knocked down again, and then I'll guide coat all of the little spots, see if they're perfect, and then we'll be good. Driver's side is done. I didn't end up filming any of the glazing or blocking the glazing because I think you guys have seen me do that quite a bit already. But check it out. This entire quarter panel is silky, buttery smooth. Can't tell anything was there before, which is awesome. I'm gonna show you guys a little trick that Ray taught me throughout this process. If you spray lacquer thinner onto the car, and then you step back, you can look down and it will mimic what clear coat looks like and show you if you have any imperfections still or if everything is nice and smooth. And it looks to me like this guy's ready for some primer. Pretty pumped on today's progress. Stoked to get this far. Bodywork is not an easy thing to do, and since I'm still a beginner, it tends to take me quite a bit longer to get things done, but I think doing 2 panels in like 3 hours, 4 hours, that's pretty good. And everything looks good, everything is straight. I'm very, very happy with the driver's side. I think throughout the next week, I'll just come in here and film some more and just kind of hopefully get the majority of the rest of the car done in this video. I don't want to have to make 7 bodywork videos. I'd rather just make 2 or 3 and just get this thing painted and good to go, because I'm eager to put the engine in. I'm eager to get this thing going. For all you guys out there that want to see me put a K-Series in this thing, go check out a friend of mine's channel. I'm sure you guys know him, and check his Civic K-Series build, because it is coming out sick. I've been watching, keeping along, and it's gonna be cool. Maybe I'll build a Civic in the future with a K-Series in it, but this thing is gonna be solely daily driver, gas mileage, gas saver, 50 mpgs, not really 50, 40, and it's gonna be amazing. I remember when I was 17 driving my Del Sol to high school, and I remember I think it costs less than $20 to fill the entire tank. I know gas was cheaper back then, but still, like me spending $90 to fill my Century tank every 4 or 5 days versus every 6 or 7 days only having to spend 30, that's a huge savings. So cheap car, fun build, hopefully quick process. We're just gonna keep chugging along. So we're home now, and we were able to get ZD out of his cage. So wanted to actually show you guys. Here he is. Hello. He's only like maybe 13 inches long. Just a little.
Shut up with the camera.
He's got the zoomies. No, but he's a cute little boy.
I just remembered that I have a bagel in the toaster.
Shit. But yeah, he's like 5 months old, little tiny guy, watching Jacksepticeye. Funny enough, I've been talking to Jack, Horsepower Logic, about snakes because he has quite a few of them. I think he has a corn snake and then a boa. He does like the king snakes too. Where are you going? This guy's adventurous, obviously non-venomous. It's crazy to think that he'll eventually be 6 foot long. And right now he's just this tiny little noodle. Gnocchi gets very jealous. When we're not giving him attention, we're giving ZD attention. But he just chills, hangs out, can just sit here, watch TV. He'll curl up in your hand. Cute little snake. I've been taking a break from driving the NSX and the Century over the past week or so because you guys saw it in the last video. We did a bunch of stuff to the Supra, and it turned out amazing. It turned out beautiful. It's kind of just been like reawoken for me. I just have so much more appreciation for this thing now that I can see it the way that I wanted to see it. And it's just a phenomenal car. I also did another upgrade to it off camera. I didn't end up filming it, but when we did the swap to this car, obviously this car was automatic when it started its life, and we did everything. 6-speed swap, turbo, all that stuff. Full restoration, but the one thing that we didn't do was the diff, the differential, and it remained an automatic diff after the swap was done, and the ratios were completely off. The gear ratios for an automatic is like 4.2, and the ratios for a 6-speed car is like 3.2, so completely different, total ratio off, and I ended up getting the correct diff and swapping that into this car. So before, I'd be on the highway doing like 65, and this car would be almost at 3.5, 3,700 RPM, just screaming. Made the drive not really that enjoyable aside from this thing staying in boost all the time. But on top of that, it was a gas hog. It wasn't proper. So now that this thing has the correct diff in it, it drives beautifully, exactly the way that it should. And I love this thing that much more. Next up, I think I gotta do a cluster swap so I can get rid of the Prindle, and then we'll be back in business. Back. I did quite a little bit of talking in the beginning of this video, so I'm gonna keep this talking section brief. Back to do more body work. I said the goal in the beginning of this video was to try and get as much as I physically can done. At least I think that's what I said. We're gonna try and get as much done as we can on this thing because I wanna paint it. I wanna get the paint done. I wanna start working on the engine. I wanna get this thing running. Also, if anyone in the Orlando area has a hood and a front bumper for a Del Sol, please let me know. I don't care if it's a 93 or a 97 bumper. I just need a bumper and a hood. Preferably a 93 to 95 bumper, but it's okay if it's a 96 to 97. Let me know. I don't want to have to buy them new. I know there's some people out there that have these parts just sitting around, so definitely let me know. But get ready for the most satisfying bodywork time lapse you have ever seen in your life. Maybe. Just trying to get a blank slate and just get the panel clean. So I sanded away a very thin layer of everything. Now I'm gonna blow it off, check it with the lacquer thinner, see if I can see any dents, and then I'll spot fill anything. I'll use guide code, all that stuff. Now typically there's also an antenna that's supposed to be right here, which has been deleted. Looks like they welded in a little piece of metal and then bondoed over it. The bondo is starting to crack, so most likely I'm gonna have to sand this all the way down and fill it properly. But now the panel's clean, so I'm gonna check it, see if I can see any dents. So I see a few here, there's a few here, and then obviously the antenna spot needs some attention. So I'm gonna dry all this off and then hit it with guide coat, block the entire panel, and then hopefully fill some stuff and should be close to done. All right, that quarter panel was a nightmare. There was a lot of stuff that needed to get flattened out. And I managed to do it all, but it took me a little bit longer than I was planning on. Just harkening back to the bodywork being a tedious fucking job. It looks really good though. I'm happy with it. All of the little dents and dings are all gone, and I was able to block the entire thing to where everything's nice and straight. Was able to make the antenna delete actually pretty decent. I'm mainly focusing on parts of the car that you're gonna see the most. So, you know, when you're walking by a car, the main parts that you're gonna focus on is gonna be like the tops and the sides of the quarter panels, the tops and the sides of the door. Not necessarily stuff going on way down here along the side of the car. I am obviously smoothing those spots out, making those nice, but I'm focusing more on the main parts of body panels. Because the more that I work on this car, the more that I discover it's not anywhere near perfect. And to make it perfect would require a like factory refresh paint job, panels coming off, getting acid bathed. I'm just understanding my capabilities here. So quarter panel's done. I'm gonna move on to the door. Unfortunately, it's just me again. So you guys are just gonna get more time lapses, but hopefully they're interesting to watch. So I've actually been able to get the door pretty good without a lot of filler, which has been nice. Just a couple little areas that I added some here and there. There's actually a pretty big dent in the front of the door here that I'm working on right now. But while that's drying, I'm gonna move on to the fender just because I wanna try and get through as much as I can here. Hopefully this fender is pretty straightforward as well. This is starting to get like very monotonous, very repetitive, and I'm just like ready to paint. I'm excited for that stuff. This has been a really fun learning process, but I'm like itching to start diving into the mechanical things and like putting the engine in, taking the old one out, refreshing it, doing all that fun stuff, and just seeing this thing in one whole color. You know, that's gonna be nice. So, yeah. This car has so many colors underneath, I swear to God. It's literally like how my first car used to be. My car was like a jawbreaker if you ever like grinded into the paint, which I did. I rusted the whole car. This car, like, this door has got blue in it, which might be some filler. This door is this fender's purple. There's purple under here. The hood is red. The rear bumper is blue. The garnish is green. This thing is like a Harlequin, like a Volkswagen Harlequin, but as a Del Sol. It's kind of funny. My whole upper body is like numb. It's like vibrating because of the sander and numb because of the hand sanding and the blocking. Like, this is crazy. The good thing about it though is I am done, I think, right now with Bodywork. I've done everything on the car that I can, minus the hood and the front bumper. I might try and make the hood work that I have, but who knows. I still gotta do the rear bumper. I haven't touched this yet, or the rear garnish. So I guess technically there might still need to be a little bit of body work done on the rear garnish, but the only thing that's left is the engine bay, the hood, the front bumper, and the rear bumper. Off camera, I ended up going around the entire car and sanding the roof, all of the pillars, making sure all of those are nice and flat and smooth. All of that's good to go now. There's a couple other areas that I'm gonna hit before we prime this entire thing, like getting in the little corners and crevices here that have some like flaking paint. Get rid of all that stuff, but I'm just trying to tackle all the big stuff right now, which is done. All the body work is done. There was a really gnarly dent that was on the front of this here that pretty much like kinked the door in a little section, and I actually built back the section that was lost and kind of created the body line again. It's not perfect, but it's as good as I can do being a novice at bodywork and paintwork. So I'm pretty happy with it. The fender was straight except for two little dents in here, so I filled those. Those are all good to go. I think now I'm gonna pop the hood and do the engine bay. I'm just gonna do that in 320 with the DA, scuff everything that I need to scuff, get that prepped, just ready for primer and paint. And then who knows, maybe after that I'll sand the bumper so that that's good, and then maybe the hood, and then that's as far as I can go. I got maybe like an hour and a half left before I wanna go home, so let's see what we can do. Well guys, I think I'm gonna leave things off here in this video. I am absolutely pooped, but I am very happy with the progress that I made today on the Del Sol. This thing is 90% of the way there in terms of getting ready for paint. Engine bays sanded, exterior completely sanded, minus hood and front bumper. Everything has been body worked, everything is straight. For the most part. I'm sure there's a couple things that I missed here and there. I'm not perfect when it comes to body work, but I know that this thing's gonna look really good once it's painted. Rear bumper's sanded, trunk's ready for paint, everything else is sanded, prepped, whole driver's side's done, everything's nice and straight. I'm sure there might be another hour, hour and a half or so of work of just like hand sanding things with just sandpaper, getting in all the little crevices and making sure everything's scuffed nice. But this thing's pretty much ready for paint, aside from just needing, you know, the bumper and hood to be able to prep those and get those good. I still might try to fix this hood, but there's a lot wrong with it. So if I can find a hood and a front bumper, then that would be awesome. But yeah, I'm very happy with the progress made here. Hopefully soon we get to see this thing get sprayed. I don't think I'm gonna try and make another bodywork video. I'd like to leave it here with this whole section of the series, and I would love for the next video to be all about paint. So don't know when the next upload with the Del Sol is gonna be exactly, but I will keep you guys posted on my social medias and YouTube and all that stuff. So thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.